This podcast is brought to you by Platform Equinix. Platform Equinix provides government agencies with the global ability to digitally transform by deploying new command and control capabilities through private interconnection to mission partners, network, cloud, and other digital service providers. Learn more about Platform Equinix at www.equinix.com/lp/government-solutions.
Hello from San Diego. I'm Ross Fortuna, Managing Editor of GovCIO Media and Research, recording from AFCEA West 2024, where top industry and defense officials are examining the future of defense technology, global security, and much, much more. Now, joining me today is D.R. Carlson. He's the Senior Director of Segment Marketing for the Americas for Equinix. Later today, he's giving a presentation at the convention titled Securely Delivering Information from Anywhere to Everywhere at the Speed of the Mission. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So let me first ask, how can agencies most effectively deliver the new and emerging services in this digital world?
Well, the easy answer is they have to do it digitally. But to expand on that, it can't just be individual decisions based on digital technology. It needs to be a truly beginning to end digital mindset. This is actually something that the CIO for the Department of the Navy calls out when saying they are looking to install a digital culture, which is so important. And it's within this digital culture that people start to have this digital first mindset, realizing that it has to be, again, digital from beginning to end, taking all things into consideration. And so when we work with organizations, we first focus on this idea of, is it a digital first mindset? Are you taking all things into consideration? Because quite frankly, we live in a digital world now. This is a lot of the conversations we have around digital transformation, which I think has just become continuous transformation now because the digital is implied. That to truly transform the way that these agencies operate, it has to be a digital transformation or a digital mindset.
Yeah, digital really is everywhere. It's one of those things that I think can be the phrase I always use, the computer is everything. That's something I always try to explain to people who are less technology centric. But let me shift a little bit to AI because you can't have a conversation.
I'm surprised we made it this long
in 2024 without AI, of course. So how does emerging tech, AI being one of these emerging tech, factor into agencies and services digital transformation?
Well, going back to the first question again, it is a technology. And the great news is we were recently doing a webinar with an analyst who had stated, there's a lot of focus now on AI. The great news is it's just going to be more of the same, meaning more of the same if a digital foundation has been established. So when we work with organizations establishing this digital foundation, we say the first thing you have to do is establish a digital core. This is what the Navy is doing right now that we're helping them with establish their digital platform, the Naval Digital Platform, establishing these digital hubs that they're able to interconnect. And then they have to move on to integrating digital ecosystems. Again, the ability to interact with their partners and the ability to turn up and turn down service, whether it's the hyperscalers or any other service provider that's providing service in a cloud-like fashion. And then finally, and potentially the most important for the Navy and other agencies, is the ability to interact at the digital edge, where this virtual meets the physical, whether it's a plane, whether it's a ship, getting that information there. And so with AI, it's really just more of the same. You're going to need hyperconnectivity, this digital core, because the amount of information is just massive. You're going to need to be able to leverage more digital business partners. And then finally, when you think about the digital edge, this ability to ingest and distribute information anywhere in the world. This is why you're seeing analysts say that half of all AI spending is going to be on digital infrastructure in the next few years, because that's how important it is.
Yeah, especially with all this information going back and forth. AI can really help process so much of it. New applications, legacy applications, how can the services and agencies, to a lesser extent, do this in this sort of computers everywhere digital world?
Again, I think probably the most important thing is to understand that it's not just swapping out legacy infrastructure for new infrastructure or new applications, but it is the ability is how do we leverage both? And what we have seen is it all comes down to a platform. And that's what Equinix provides in working with these agencies, especially the Navy, as they establish their digital platform, because it is a platform that enables them not only to leverage all of the new services that are coming out, but also bring in their legacy applications that for many of them, though, some of those applications or that legacy infrastructure is important. The mistake we've seen agencies make is trying to implement new services on a legacy infrastructure, not leveraging a platform. We saw it in almost every industry when it came to cloud. We saw so many companies rush out and try to cloudify legacy infrastructure, and it simply didn't work. And that's why first establishing a platform is so important, because you can leverage both. And I think in today's world, it is no longer an either or, which is how IT used to work. It was this or that. And now it's an all and. You have to be able to leverage all aspects of technology.
You touched a little bit on pain points, and particularly in the cloud side of things. Agencies, services are at different stages of digital transformation, but there are a lot of common pain points. Where can agencies and services start to address those most common challenges?
What we often see and what we suggest is to first start by looking at the overarching journey that they're on. And first establishing what that strategy is going to be, looking 2 to 3 years down the road, and help map that out for them first. Instead of what we've seen, again, all of these same pain points, many mistakes that are made, is trying to implement an IT decision, a standalone IT decision right now to solve this one problem. And then what ended up happening is they were like, well, we have 1,000 of these single standalone decisions that we made. Is there any way you can knit them all together and provide us a strategy? And our answer is, you got it in reverse. So let us first sit down and establish what the overarching strategy is. And so that all of these then individual decisions must fit into this overarching strategy that we've established. So what we do is we start with what we call a digital strategy briefing, where we sit down and map out the next 2 to 3 years. And then from those strategy briefings, we do what are called individual solution workshops, where these workshops are about these individual decisions that then we make sure tie into the overarching strategy.
That long-term versus short-term thing, especially in such a changing world, I'm sure is hard to manage. But thank you so much for being on with us.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
GovCast, along with HealthCast and Cybercast, is a production of GovCIO Media and Research. To explore our content, visit our website, govciomedia.com. Keep an eye out for new episodes every Tuesday. And if you like what you heard, leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice. Have a topic you want us to discuss? Contact us at newsletter@govcio.com.